Team Liquid's turn to ban.
Welcome back, everybody, here to ESL 1 Manila 2016. We're coming to you from the Mineski Studios as we're doing Team Liquid going up against Wings Gaming. Our full best of 3, our winners bracket semi-final. I should say, just our winners bracket final, because we are in the GSL group stages. I'm Toby One. I'm joined by the knowledgeable Malini, as well as the ever so
knowledgeable Purge.
What are you about to say? Handsome? No. I was trying to find a way of saying like the perfect toned voice.
That's you said enough there, Toby.
I got stuck.
That's why I'm here, the voice, to give good voiced analysis that is less strong than Merlini's analysis.
How this cast can easily spiral downwards.
Can't wait. I'm just gonna make fun of you the whole time.
That's fine.
That's the goal.
That's fine. Like, you gotta fill the role of Blitz, right? Like, remember, Jacob and I, we're just white noise to the world.
Okay. Yeah, for most parts, bro. Yeah. He's like, well, you said something, I'm just going to continue talking about map predictions and where people are moving.
Yeah, because that's what it's all about, man. That has become a game of dancing. It's all about movement.
So,
Liquid versus Wings. Liquid, able to 2-0 their way through. Wings, I don't know if we want to say surprisingly they got through. I don't know, did either of you boys expect Wings to be in this position?
No, I don't think a 2-1's that unpredictable. I mean, it could have definitely gone both ways for Complexity and Wings. Wings recently coming off of some good performances here and there. And yeah, I think Complexity's also had the potential to get a top 3 at the event. So it definitely was going to be close either way.
Yeah, Wings I think is heavily underestimated. They have a playstyle that's a lot different, and as well as a draft style that's a lot different. They don't pick OD very often, and they really prioritize the Invoker over the most, and Liquid already seem to know this a fair amount. And if they stick true to their strategy, they also like the Beastmaster a lot. Liquid heading strong with the Dire Ursa pick with a Nature's Prophet. It's kind of what Liquid does most of the time anyways, so no surprises here.
And the first 2 pick up for Wings, so they get the Void and Enchantress combination. We saw Complexity actually attempt this combo against Wings, but this time they're going to first pick it up.
I don't know if this is amazing for Enchantress though, because Liquid already has the counter in Ursa, and Faceless Void it's another hero that Ursa's good against, because if you just keep accruing Fury Swipes in the laning stage, he can't actually just stay in lane endlessly like he can against a lot of other carries. So I feel like with that one pick, it's really given Liquid a really nice advantage.
At the same time, though, Void is also really good at kiting the Ursa. You want to be able to secure that pit for him, and Enchantress creeps plus Faceless Void I think can handle the Ursa in lane. So it's great, but...
So you think they're going to duel offlane maybe, or just like a little bit of poking here or there?
Just at least a creep, I would say, to help out the
offlane. Then that relieves more pressure on the mid lane, or maybe Nature's Prophet gets more in that way. So it could have big implications. I think that either way, I still think the Ursa is going to give them, either even if he gets pressured or if he has lane advantage against those 2 heroes. I think Team Liquid's pretty happy with the opener.
If you're Wings right now, are you looking to develop more teamfight around the Void as well as the Enchantress?
They like their teamfight. There's 2 heroes that they like a lot that other teams don't really try out that much. One is Treant, which they actually picked in their last series versus Complexity. They're actually 5-0 in the last 5 picks with them. And another hero that they like a lot is the Venomancer. They run a position 1 Veno. And they're 3-1 with it.
I've seen that. I saw some other teams first round banning it in the Chinese scene, and I was like,
crazy.
Well, I was like, where's this coming from? I haven't seen any teams picking Veno, but
how do you build that?
Okay, you do treads, you do veil, you do ags, and then he does blink, blade mail, and then a last item he gets butterfly. Okay, I'm not kidding at all.
That's pretty weird.
I'm just telling you, that's what he does, man. That's just what he does.
I love to know his win percentage on that kind of build.
I was like, man, does he spin in pubs? I looked at his pub stats. He's only played like 40 games as the hero. In pubs too, so I don't know where that comes from.
It's pretty straightforward. You just have to like cast Gale accurately, and then you play the hero correctly.
Yeah, Venomancer is not really that difficult. Come on, it was like Jacob's signature hero. Like,
ooh. Well, different back then,
we could beat the living crap out of him now because those lazy bums have gone back to the hotel.
Yeah, they left.
Yeah.
How could they do that?
But we stick it through.
Line a decent pick for Zoni and Faces Void in lane. If he has a boots advantage, something some teams prioritize, we'll see if Liquid does it. Windranger picked up pretty early here. It's pretty nice versus Ursa. He won't get hit, and Ursa oftentimes won't be able to forward bind a Monkey King bar. So in a mid-game scenario, Windranger should be good there.
I was actually wondering too what they could use to scout Roshan, because obviously Liquid are running a Ursa on Dire side with a Nature's Prophet. Like that Roshan's gonna be the easiest.
Edge is already pretty good, I would say.
You just send like 1 minion over all the time?
Yeah, I mean, you generally have an idea of what's going to happen, especially if you pressure that lane too. Like when he leaves the lane, if he buys a mask, he's either in the jungle or in Roche.
Yeah, it's a lot more likely that Liquid just takes a fight towards Wings constantly. And if they're running at Wings, if Wings is in a defensive standpoint, the Shackle can actually completely win team fights. And if they keep going even on team fights, that should eventually lead into some Wings pushing advantages as well with the heroes they have.
Liquid had now run the Doombringer. In their series earlier today, the Doombringer was kind of pulled into the safe lane multiple times. Is Wings able to like achieve the same kind of thing here? Like what are we expecting from their offlane? Is it just a Void that's going to sit there and be a little bit more passive in the lane? Like, or should the Enchantress be moving up there? You mentioned it before, like, does the Enchantress
I think
support
Enchantress
that
should be
lane to
moving up there.
force the movement of the Doom?
You want to slow the Ursa down as much as possible so you can slow down that Roche. They have really good tools at kiting the Ursa, and it seems like Liquid is actually very worried about him being kited. They already took out the Beastmaster. Invoker's also really good at pretty much all 4 of the heroes that they banned are good at dealing with the Ursa, but even these 3 are still pretty good. Sure, Ursa can actually kill them if he gets to them, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get to them. That's the problem that Liquid might encounter at this phase.
A lot of it's going to come down to the initiation of the line in the Doom. If the right heroes are doomed or the right heroes are hexed, then Ursa can jump in and blow somebody up at the start of the fight. And if that's the case, then every fight is likely going to be won by Team Liquid. So the first couple fights will just be movement based on which angle the Doom comes from. But once they get Blink Daggers, their team can be pretty aggressive, really. And they're going to have potentially 3 Blinks on there, plus a Nature's Prophet TP. So any time that Wings is out of position and Liquid's ready to fight, it should be a really one-sided fight. So it's going to be a little tough for Wings to execute fights, I think. Rubik, an interesting choice. Could potentially steal some big spells from lane and Doom, but other than that,
he's not really
it's a little weird.
No, he's really good versus Doom, I would say. Like, Doom, he used to be much more difficult when he had level death. You would just Doom and level death. But with Infernal Blade, like, you have to use Scorched Earth early to move in. You can't devour a creep like in the middle of a team fight right after you do. That's just completely unrealistic, even versus someone like an Enchantress. So I've seen, like, Rubik's get far more Dooms than they used to be able to. Also good versus Lion.
Sounds pretty good. Good way to stop Ursa from ulting as well. Just Doom him in a fight. Really limits his DPS in a lot of ways. So in the laning stage, though, he can be pressured. He's pretty low HP, limited on mana as well. So even something like a simple TP from Prophet could lead to an easy Rubik kill. So if Enchantress is off helping the Faceless Void, I could see Team Liquid really pressuring the Rubik in lane a lot.
Is this when Wings actually have to be more like proactive in the lane? Look for that early smoke with the Enchantress and Rubik.
I mean, they should move a lot. It all kind of comes down to the mid heroes actually, because where else do you pressure? Nature's Prophet, I mean, Smoke, he will die to smokes, but other than that, it's going to be hard to kill him. Doom roaming as a 4-position jungler is not the easiest kill, so if Team Liquid gets a fairly survivable mid hero, it's going to make it a lot harder for Wings to create pressure on the map. So maybe even something like a Puck be a possibility for Liquid here, but again, it also comes down to what Wings might have for an option. Liquid is going to have to pick first, though.
Yeah, so they could reveal their draft, and then Wings. Like, we're still thinking, like, it's the safe laner, right? Like, we're not looking at a Vanguard, Radiance, Faceless Void from Wings, are we?
Very unlikely, no. I guess it is Wind Ranger mid for Wings, so...
we should push the Void to the offlane.
Would be okay, I think. They would definitely have a ton of trouble killing Wind Ranger before mid if they got Puck, though. They just don't have a lot of good burst damage solutions against her, so maybe that's not a good pick.
They'll take out the Queen of Pain as the last one instead.
Yeah, that would have dealt with her better, I think, for sure. Just like Lion Finger and Co-op combo, Wind Ranger dies almost every time.
So Ben, is there anyone else better than a Puck for the mid lane right now? What comes to mind?
I don't think so at the moment. They could try and fight it with a little bit more team fight. What else is Final like, though? DP's already banned out, Invoker's already taken out. OD has been banned out. I just simply don't see that many other heroes that Final plays in that mid lane, other than the Puck.
They're actually going to be so mobile if they get Puck, though. That's 4 Blinks and a Nature's Prophet TP.
Yeah, and I think Puck helps a lot with Ursa not being kited, because right now they're pretty much relying on Lion to keep them in place.
So you basically just want an AoE controller out. Puck seems to be ticking all the boxes you're asking for.
I wouldn't be too surprised if they pick Razor, though, because then they can run at them and it will be a lot more hectic in the fights.
Razor against Enchant, though, isn't that? I feel like you're kind of countered there.
Yeah, it's a support Ench, though. Or we're assuming that it's a support engine. You want heroes that can be up in your face. You have Doom, Ursa, and then potentially a Razor that can just be in the melee, right? So they have, like, Wings wants a really structured fight. You want your 3 ranged heroes in the back. You want Faceless Void up front. You throw a Chrono down. Every ranged hero dumps their damage into there. That's what you want. But I don't think that Liquid, they obviously don't envision the fight going like that. They want them to be able to move around from behind and have these tanky heroes that really don't care if they get chronosphered or not.
Well, I kind of like the Viper pick because it allows Liquid to 5-man super early, and Wings definitely takes a long time to ramp up. Like Wind Ranger before a damage item isn't super damage outputty. Rubik as well faces Void, does very little damage early game, and Enchantress until she gets something like Dragonlance, her damage is a bit limited. So if Liquid gets a little bit of lane advantage out of their heroes here, I feel like they can just 5-man towers like crazy.
We get our second Naga of the day into the draft, and well, the first one didn't go so well. Tried to turn into a late game split kind of push. And another hero too, who like Wind Ranger and Enchantress obviously coupled with the Faceless Void, so maybe you don't need any more of that. But is this Naga now meant to be the late game card that Wings Gaming has?
I think it's just another solution for the Ursa. Like if I'm Ursa in this game, I am just deathly afraid. Like what am I supposed to do this game? You have net, you have sleep. Like you're gonna have to use your ult defensively almost all the time. You have to worry about Chronosphere, Shackle, like Wind Run. There's like so many items, and just
some of those abilities seem to also have really low cooldowns as well. Like they're not major things that you have to commit to keep the Ursa in position, like a Fiend's Grip or such.
The only problem with the Naga Siren is she might be a little bit slow at stopping like the first two Roches, but then again, it's going to be insane for their high ground defense. I mean, they don't really have a good way to stop the Naga Siren.
Oh, they're Roshing. They're Roshing. 100%. They all TP'd. They're level 1 Roshing.
Prepare for battle.
Well,
my thing is bugged out, so we'll stick around, and then I've got to actually close down Dota and bring it back up again to fix this, or else I won't be able to watch it. So yep, here they go, Team Liquid.
wait, they TP'd. Okay. Jarek's TP'd to make them think typical.
Okay.
Oh, I'm going to ward things, so he's gonna make them feel like it's normal.
He also broke smoke when he came down. Ice Ice actually broke the smoke on him, so they understand what's going on. So Jirak's gonna find Ice Ice. He's not leveled up telekinesis just yet, and Roshan, he's still going. This needs some time. Mind control.
They don't have
any
trees.
trees available. He needs to actually summon some more. The problem is he can't do it. Like he'll have to leave the pit in order to do so.
So Fido might have to go in and tank though.
Viper can swap it.
Yeah.
Okay, now they're blind. They've lost their observer ward.
That's fine. Jarek's is keeping them busy. They're gonna get it.
30 seconds.
3 more hits maybe.
Fido's dropping low, but yep, you're right. The stacks and boom, as she blows. Team Liquid will take a level 1 Roshan and have level 3 on every single one of their cores because the 2 supports are outside the pit.
Yeah, that's some laning advantage there.
Really smart for them to show Kuro, because he's melee, so even if he goes in there, there's going to be a range hero tanking, and then they're going to get stomped. And then you have the Lion, who also shows around the map too, so they think it's super unlikely if there's 3 heroes in there. They probably didn't even suspect it at that point.
And if you don't show some force, they would have walked around and checked all the things for any shenanigans going on. So by Kuro standing there, they thought, they're actually going to fight for this, so we have to move down as the timer comes up.
Okay, I'm now going to request that she jump ourselves to a splash screen. So production, if you're tuning in right now, please move it off so I can use my mouse. And
Your mouse doesn't work?
yeah, the mouse won't interact with anything on the screen.
Okay, that's a little problematic here.
That is a normal bug. So someone's running out to tell them, so I can switch this around without showing us the windows.
You don't know all of the hotkeys, dude? You're not you're not the best
It's
observer.
another thing of hockey.
That's, oh my god, the damage he's doing already to Wind Ranger is insane. That was 2 hits and he lost half his HP. How does he compete with that?
You don't really, and it's up against Negus Immortal, so even if you want to harass Farter out, like good
Kill him
luck.
twice, yeah.
It's going to be a secondary life over on the Viper.
I wonder what Wings thinks at this point of the game, though, because you expect a certain timing with Liquid. Maybe like a 7-8 minute Roshan, and now everything has just moved up so quickly, and they might be regretting the Naga pick now at this point.
Marched into life is paid. My claws are red with the gore of first blood.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Time walk, and then they just initiated on them in a large 24-second window.
Is it good?
A perfect picture being painted, and yes, we have things working again now, which is absolutely wonderful.
Mostly Void dying, and Fada still bullying the Wind Ranger in the mid lane.
I actually like this build on Viper a lot, where you get more of poison attack, because it just gives you a lot of laning advantage. It's not as good as if you get ganked, obviously, but the lane pressure that you can get forces a lot of rotations, and sometimes you can get kills out of it.
However, he is actually losing in CS due to Wind Ranger at this point.
That's a bad thing.
That is-
I don't think that
that
should
is very
happen.
They're showing for the rotation from Innocence too, but he's going to find Jirax actually starting up the clap with the enchant. He's actually run out of time. Actually, no, looks like the Ursa will survive. Get the clap. He's a little bit more damage, but support now arriving in here from mind control. And it's just taking a little bit too much, so Faith has to push him out. The Sprout Tubman, he's running over. He just wants one hit, waits for the trees to disappear. The mind control's already going to find the kill, and a secondary stun now from Jirax. The time walkout will save him.
Fada.
And this Faceless Void is just running out of here. He's into the tree lines, but as you said, Fada rotating over, and Faith, chance of survival is very, very low. 13 seconds on his time walk. PMS charges would have to be unbelievable, but it's not going to happen. And Team Liquid now 3 kills on the board for 0.
It already seems that Wings is a little bit desperate to try and equalize this level advantage that Liquid has, and you know, sacrificing your level 1 heroes to get like level 3 or 4 kills might be pretty good, but at this point, like, you know, they have boots and a level advantage, which is just extremely difficult to overcome 3 minutes into the game. So I think most teams would take the approach to try and equalize it, like, you know, the difference in between like level 6 and 8 is not as big as the difference in between like 1 and 4. Let's say. So probably wait until that point to actually make moves.
You know, on the bright side, since they did get level 1 Roche, that means once they actually get kills, they get a little bit of comeback experience, so it could be worse.
They just need to find some of those kills up against a huge level, like, disadvantage.
A big problem with the Nature's Prophet, though, like, they have 2 heroes in the top lane, but it's 2-on-2 right now. Anytime NP like sees a threat, isn't going to be mid because he still has the Aegis for a few minutes, then he can be there, and you have like 3 level 4 heroes at this point, so it's not going to be easy for them.
Prophet, like, he's going to hit 6 so soon, too. He's like level 5 already. It's incredible. If they can turn this slight level advantage into a couple kills, just snowballing at 5 to 7 minutes, it's going to potentially just end the game by such a big advantage. It'll turn
Fada
into
should be
5
dead.
minutes.
He's come out a little bit far. Tolikis will pick him up and throw him down. This burns the Aegis, but they're bringing in now Innocence. He's got himself a Static Banisher as well as the Dark Troll. So Fada does slow him down. The Shackle is there. The Aegis Immortal is it's already been broken. But can they finish the job? They need a little bit more damage. Fada, the attack, will it miss uphill? No, there is not. Ice will manage to survive. Adds a little bit of extra help there into the line to push him back. But they will be able to survive through this wings, and they get their first kill on the mid laner.
That was a really big help there. I thought he was going to kill the small satyr. It might have prevented a purge ability, but didn't quite work out.
Fates. But someone can't slow him down anymore. Even with his phase boost, he can't keep up.
I think Liquid just kind of, like, in their minds, like, Viper's completely safe in the mid lane. And they didn't even really bother TPing in until well after the Aegis had already started ticking.
Yeah.
Nature's Prophet could have TP'd too.
That was well done by the Enchantress, though. He hid and he waited for the death to happen before showing, because that's why they didn't TP. If he shows right away, they guaranteed TP, they get there in time. So super well done there by the Enchant to guarantee that double kill.
Yeah, that was a really tough kill to pull off.
He had the perfect creeps for it, though. He had a neck creep and he had the satyr. That's like perma-slow.
The Shadow wants to get aggressive on mind control. He's going to let the Song of the Siren go. Just escape out. Kuro reveals himself.
But at this point, Wings are making Liquid move around, which is you know, very good considering what happened prior to creep spawn at this point in the game.
Well, if that's said, then I think the game's getting semi-close. I'm sure the experience is still a little bit off, but the game's getting semi-close to even. And even with that said, I still think Liquid has a pretty decent drift going towards them here.
Well, they saw the ward being placed in mid lane, Fada being wrapped around.
There's a slow creep. It's really low range, though, and it dies real fast.
Do it.
I was actually wondering why Innocence made that play. Maybe it's just so we could do exactly this, just sentry down that obs.
I mean, yeah, but Smokey might as well, you know, try and get something out of it.
Yeah. Just Fada was never in a good position to gank him. Fada actually will get himself an Invis rune. Thought for a moment maybe considered going down to the bottom lane that Shadow's got his Song of the Siren on cooldown.
It's way too dangerous, though, because it's not dangerous, it's just a high chance of wasting your time. If you show up there and you just don't get a kill, then nobody gets less hits mid. It'd be really problematic. Plus, decently high chance that they have a ward that catches it anyway, so, or creep, who knows.
Okay, it's been 7 minutes since you flamed us, Toby. What do you have?
What? Why do I just become the Inferno? I think I'm gonna do that.
Just ring around the Rosie in the jungle here. He's actually just completely trying to zone the Faceless Void. It's amazing how much time he's spending to keep Void out of experience range rather than last hitting. I wonder if that's beneficial. In some ways, it's sort of negative. It does delay the level 6, which starts a lot of kill setups for Wings. Maybe that's the idea here.
He's still getting a lot of farm though. He has 18 creeps, and I think that's worth his 2 deaths.
Yeah, when he's almost equal CS with a Nature's Prophet, that seems a little odd.
He's done a good job. He has died twice though, but we'll see how it turns out. Ooh, that's a Navi courier. Wings, big Navi fan here.
Oh no!
That was really unfortunate.
The Fog of War is not Mind Control's friend. He is bailing the hell out of here after.
It was the trees. He probably just assumed there was a ward that saw him TPing. That's the only reason he didn't look harder for it. It's just really unlucky, actually. He could have gotten that kill 100%. That would have been a nice big advantage for.
Jarek's trying to set up on the Face's Void over here.
Well, needs the stun. The second he started that animation to get the stun off, Faith just time walks back out again. Okay, so if you're Liquid now, you got Matumban up with the molded mask. Can you just push him into the lane and give Jirax on top? Is that the play now?
Then that will give Void even more levels though. Like I think he's almost to the point where he can start bullying the Lion if Lion stays one-on-one in the lane. Because he's almost level 7.
Yeah, it's just to give Jarek some more levels, and I really like what Wings just did there. They're warding to prep for the next Roche. It's coming up soon. Most people forget about it, but I mean, if it dies just at the 0-second mark, then it'll be up soon. They've got to be ready for that, even more so than in a normal game.
Can you actually check the timer for that one? Like how long until Roshan is up? Okay, we got about 30 seconds until Roshan's alive.
And Song of the Siren will be also up in the pit. That thing is just sick for resetting. Take off all the Fury swipes.
So the timer comes down to the Viper mech then. And once Viper gets mech, Liquid's going to be a lot more able to team fight in the Roche area. And if they can win that fight, and assume Ursa stays alive, then it should lead to a Roche advantage.
I don't even know if they should contest though. Like even if they do have like a sleep into a Chrono, where's their damage coming from?
Yeah, they don't have much. It's like Focus Fire maybe, but he doesn't have damage items. And Enchant, as Toby just pointed out, is only level 4. Yeah. They're not very leveled just yet here. It makes it very difficult for them to take those fights. So the best thing they can do instead is take mid tower, I guess.
Yep.
But
well, can they force Liquid into a trade position? Like if it's not the tier 1 tower on mid, maybe they look up towards the top lane. But giving a lot of farm over, and there you can see more into Liquid's hands.
Yeah, I mean, even going to the standards, they will grab Void. Okay. So it's hard for them to take mid while Liquid's roshing because they're all semi-mobile. They can defend decently with Nature's Prophet, or Nature's Prophet can split push. There's a lot more split push opportunities for Liquid than there are for Wings, basically. So it's these next 5 or 10 minutes is going to be huge.
Mask of Madness is now done for Matumban, but that pressure. He said it was going to come on the side lanes, but Mind Control's just about to do a little bit of damage to the tier 1 tower.
He's TPing the T2 right now. Jerax is about to smoke him up, and there is a sensor creep in there with a little bit of life left. I don't know if it's going to be able to.
He could maybe aggro Roche and get it to attack the Centaur with the Treant. But I don't know if he'll do that. I like that they're also pressuring the tier 1 though. So now Wings doesn't 100% know, are the Ursa at the bot tower or are they rotating?
Oh, that was a really nice scouting maneuver by Shadow right there. He also has an Observer Ward on the top lane, so he saw the smoke pop.
Yep.
They also have, as you said, really good ward setup around the pit. They have the sentry on the high ground where normally the ward is, but they actually have 2 wards on the outside, and Wings are full out committing.
They do not want this to happen. That observer, did they actually see? Yeah, they see Jirax just sitting up on the hillside.
No, their ward is over here.
So they're very aware. So the other one up on the hillside. So now Jirax and Jackal flies out. They're looking for another lock. They have enough damage, so you're going to say goodbye to the Lion. And they didn't have to really commit any major abilities for that one. While the rest of Liquid goes scurrying away, and it was Liquid who were giving the respective Wings. They were looking for the kill before they attempted Roshan.
Yeah, that's really tough. They just assumed they put the sentry down, obviously, based on the way that the Naga reacted in the jungle, but it just didn't quite work out. I think he just got lucky a little bit. He happened to run left his illusion to the right.
He popped the smoke and
yeah, but they didn't have vision over there based on their ward because neither of their wards caught the ramp. That was where the smoke broke earlier. So I think they got a little lucky on the smoke break.
I think he popped it like
he dewarded for it. Maybe it was. Maybe it barely did.
What do you think about their decision to smoke into the jungle as opposed to smoke into Roche? Like in hindsight, it might have not been the best idea.
You're
but
talking about Radiant going into
the Wings movement.
Yeah. They assumed that somebody would be jungle because nobody was defending the bot tower, so they're hoping to get a pick. If they got a pick, Roche is dead. They got it. I think that's why they went for it. They just didn't get it.
What if they pick off something like the Edge though? It's like not that big of a deal for them.
Potentially, I guess, but it does delay her 6 and things like that.
They commit Chronosphere. They really want to get this all over on Kuro. Support was coming in from Fada, but he didn't reach it in time, and Mind Control's just doing Mind Control things. Like, he's already taken out the tier 1 tower, and as the Wind Ranger is forced to defend this lane.
Wings are committing hard to defending their Radiant jungle, though. Usually you see that tower go down, and most teams like concede this area. Wings are just fighting for their dear lives and just making sure that Liquid do not have any easy opportunity to get Roche.
Yeah.
Is this a secure shadow? Is Radiance money?
No, it's so
it's not
that
the-
Liquid have to think twice about doing Roche. Like normally with Ursa, it's like any 30-second window, you're scared that he could be doing Roche. But look, there's already a skeleton minion heading in there. There was a Centaur in there before. They're fighting their jungle. They are just slowing Liquid down so much.
Yeah, it allows them to protect their wards as well and get more wards up. Like, they've had those 2 wards up this whole time. How is Liquid supposed to take it? Oh, they actually find him.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was.
He must have gotten the invis from bot rune because they knew that he was clearly there.
Yeah.
So it was just nice prediction from Jarex. He's obviously followed the Ursa. Maybe they even planned it. Ursa down, go to Ancients that he follows you, for example.
Okay,
Nice play.
let's see if they can stop him over. There's the Naga Siren illusion going in. Matoma Man does have his blink, so he doesn't even have to walk by an observer ward, but looks like they are not in position.
That courier's coming out, but it's not bringing the blink with it.
Yeah.
It's bringing the salve and the gloves. I think that's actually a bit of a mismark right there.
Well, I mean, this is really all they needed. They needed 1 kill. Now Rubik's alive. Now he'd start a TP hypothetically. By the time they get to Roach instead, so they were just aiming for that 1 kill this whole time. They finally got one picked up. It was in a very interesting way, but they got it. Roach is up, and now they can be aggressive again while split pushing.
At the same time, the Liquid can't be happy with the timing of the second Roach,
Yeah,
though.
definitely.
It spawned around 8:30, maybe around 9, and it
Maybe
took 4
Kuro
minutes
will
to
get a solo kill.
Oh,
He's
poor
gonna go for it.
eyes.
Oh, he had the net as well. That's mana intensive. There's no way he has any left. It's like 150. Oh, he's got a 14 wand actually, and the buckler build as well. They were gonna get mid tower out of this as well. That was a huge kill by Croaky. So now instantly the tier 1 mid is dead. That gives them more map control. They can ward more deep and then better protect the 3rd Roche potentially in 10 minutes.
Jirax's early TP as well. I instantly want to try and defend this tier 1 tower on top.
This is such a good setup.
Proper TP is available as well. They fortified us, so there wasn't enough, and really just run into the tree line. This Wind Ranger, she's got a little bit of behind her in the form of Innocence, but Wind Ranger will survive. And Innocence, will try and juke into the tree lines. Jirax is the perfect stuff for the trees. And Mind Control, well, they can't block her in just yet. And getting through 4 points of Untouchable is not an easy task, but they're going to finish it up anyway. So a kill goes the way of the Viper. So they defend their T1 tower, they don't kill the Wind Ranger, but they get another kill to boot.
That's sad for Ash. You're like, man, I'm not even worth a finger.
Yeah. I was really surprised Wind Ranger ran to the northwest, but it worked out great because that's usually where the ganks are going to come from. If he runs directly back, then the supports or whoever's wrapped around has already got that cutoff. But just by running to the northwest, he was able to get away.
Gonna go on the Wind Ranger, picked up by Ice Ice. Faith as a Chronosphere available, but he does not want to blow it on an Aegis Ursa.
Dire's
Yeah,
bottom
definitely not.
tower is under attack.
How's this Naga looking?
She went for
2.7K
drums,
now.
but she's actually still farming a lot. Normally you'll see a bottle Fury Crow, but
I think he had to go drums because if he ever gets doomed, he just dies. If he didn't have that extra movement speed, it would make such a big difference in his ability to escape.
I think you have to rely on not getting doomed though, and use your illusions to scout out a lot. I think it's tough. Like it'll slow down your radiance by what, 4 minutes maybe? Oh, let's see.
Not if you got Midas for like you, Ben.
Or Soul Ring. Oh, most people get at least one form of mana regeneration on top of the Aquila, but it's gonna be a little slow for him. That's okay though.
So the Midas pickup on Viper here, pretty standard for a hero that's gets a bit of early advantage and transitions into team fight, and then finally something to catch up his late game. Because he needs to have items that can match potentially a Wind Ranger and Naga. Viper is not good at dealing with either of those heroes really, so he needs an item that's going to push him into the late game.
Is under attack.
Also helps a lot versus Ench.
Yeah, that's a good point. And he is a hero that relies on his right click, so Midas is naturally quite good on him. A lot of heroes buy it just for the gold and the experience, but on Viper it's great.
A little bit of miscommunication coming out from Wings as they got overlapping ops wards in the mid lane. But it still lets them see very clearly Kuro and Jirax get a double Chronosphere off. Ice Ice is going to be in range. What's he get? He actually takes the spike, getting the Sun over on Kuro. And with the damage, Jirax, no, the Mega Rise from Vada. They didn't finish the job. And Matalaman's here ready to fight as well. And who are they going to get? The Sprout up. Innocence has to run a long way away. At least he gets himself a regeneration rune. So thank you, OS Frog, as Innocence will make it to the dire jungle.
They were just a little too greedy about that fight. If they would have used the Impale on the line, it would have completely changed the fight. And once the finger lands on Enchant, he can't stay around either. So just slightly too underestimating how much damage they did. And it allows Liquid to lose nobody there. That was a big kill for Wings, great initiation, but nothing.
They were also really quick with their TP on the Viper too, to mech her in time. Mech him.
That's good. Playing on the map.
This is the way Fada like to play, right? He's always a utility mid.
This is the first time I've seen a no Aquila on a mid hero in the last like 6 games, and it's actually on an agility hero for once.
Sparta, he'll always get a mech first if possible.
Oh, Relic. About to come out. 37.95 and Tiki.
More Matumpa. Shackle, he jumps himself into that one. ISI still has the stun, so they get a free burn of the Aegis of the Immortal. It only had another minute left on it, but...
Yeah, that's not a big deal, I don't think. They've got really good ward vision at the moment in the next area that's Liquid will potentially farm aggressively.
Well, that observer wall they just placed down got scouted out. Surprisingly, they threw that one down, considering like they had an obs ward up on this hill, which means there had to be a vision on this cliff to get rid of it when they did it, because they sentryed the ground.
It depends. Maybe they had a courier in the area, for example, but it's a cool word. I've never seen a word placed there before. It's definitely slightly offset of the most common spots. So almost blink on Kuro here if he does go for blink first. Very possible, rather than finishing the mech. Oh, actually, it's just the casual buckler build.
Yeah. I guess you already got the mech.
Yep.
There are 4 obs in that Radiant Nation area.
Yeah, the first 2 were not intentional, and the Enchantress like innocent spam pinged the second that other one was thrown down.
Maybe the reason is we need to be able to buy relics, so we'll just put 4 wards in the area that doesn't get sniped 100%.
I hate to tell you though, Prophet could TP anywhere on the map. Like, they won't see him coming.
But they're gonna kill him afterwards.
That's true.
That's a decent trade. You don't even need the relic until the Radiance is finished, right?
That's why we have you here, Mitchell. You're all about seeing the end game.
Yep, that's just next level about protecting your secret shop, guys.
Love it. Well, say goodbye to the tier 2 tower. So while you do have the relic, you still need the extra money for the Radiance to come in. And is that enough? Like, because you're still not really looking at a great split push. Like, there's no BTs yet. You still look at your mana style up and running as well.
The important part is he gets it before the 3rd Roche. Like, with the Aegis Cheese and no Radiance, then you're just, like, we cannot defend high ground. But once he has that, combined with, like, Power Shot, Spam, the threat of a Chrono, they should be able to feel relatively comfortable in defending their high ground.
Yeah, that's definitely true. You ever just feel like your illusions disappear randomly from an invisible source? Does that ever happen to you guys? Like, hey, where'd my illusion go? Usually that happens to me because I'm not looking on the map, ever. So, but in this case...
Never happens to me.
Secret hex.
I only ever play one hero that's just one hero. Illusions are 2 meter micro.
I see.
What if you get a rune? Do you just leave him there in the river? Are you one of those guys?
No.
Probably has the A click to the tier 1.
Yeah, actually, almost.
See,
Attack with a critical choke point. That's the play.
Just put him on the throne and be like, hopefully. Jesus.
Sparta, well, hello, they'll jump up. The smoke broke. They try to instantly reveal him off. They're getting Viper Strike over on the Wind Ranger, and then Viper Strike. Well, that's the easiest thing to steal in the world. And can they? Nope. Thought there might be a follow-up for the Chronosphere. The Focus Fire has already been expended.
They're getting some good value out of the Wind Ranger here, and again, they're very survivable for a while here. And so that was a 3-man smoke though. And they do pick off a really big hero, but they're still farming quite well on their other cores.
The Shadow Blade's a really important pickup for Wind Ranger. I like it a lot more over to Blink because it's much better at scouting out and dealing with a Nature's Prophet. Like Nature's Prophet's natural enemies are like Bounty Hunter and Nexus Assassin, and any Shadow Blade hero with a disable. And Wind Ranger looks like she's gonna be that guy.
I've seen this movie before. It does no kill this time though.
Instant doom committal. Is it worthwhile actually going directly into a Silver's Edge?
Look at this guy. He's not even.
I mean,
he's not even showing it right
Viper.
now. He's just hiding it behind the tower, so he.
Oh, the Shadow Blade.
Yeah,
that's sick.
So he can hopefully pick off an NP.
Little does he know, other teams don't prioritize warding on that side of the map as much, so it's actually completely.
Well, he was farming the creep wave.
Oh, okay, gotcha. That makes sense then.
But they do have.
Here they come, Jirax with a blink. He wants to get the Face's Void. There's your initial stun. Is there a Shackle to stop this one up? The Tupperman picked up, thrown back around with the Face's Void soon to go down, but the damage into the Tupperman is just so huge. And without the Doom, they don't really have another follow-up. In fact, it can be Fada. Ensnared, controlled. They still need more damage. Power shots back off cooldown. It'll hit perfectly, and the Radiance burn, well, it's kicking in. Fada, 23. Now he's down. Barely couldn't finish him off. Jirax was trying to actually mop up the illusions as quick as he could, but it wasn't enough.
These fights are getting really hard. They're not initiating properly. That one was good, but they backed him up and they didn't quite have enough damage.
It could have been way worse. If Naga had slept, they would have just gotten massacred in front of the T2. Like, it even looked kind of bad for Liquid, but it could have been much, much worse.
Yeah, the Radiance is up and it just ran him down. The Viper's really not feeling very squishy. And you know what? It's because he doesn't have an Aquila. I'm not even kidding. It gives you 3 armor. That is so much.
Mind control. He's going to pick him up. Thrown back down again, you got Faces Boy Chrono. So this TP out is not going to be successful. In fact, he started time dilation, locked his own Rubik in the middle of all of this. But there's Fate Bolt available. He'll buy a Blink Dagger before Death Mind Control, so he doesn't lose too much money. But thanks to the great Observer warding, you see what's going on. Also, the Creep Wave was there too, but that's not the point.
And maybe all those wards were to protect against where the Prophet would likely farm. In places that were maybe not obvious, like large camp, Ancients, things like that, moving in between the two, it's definitely giving them a lot of control in that area. And that's where one of their 2 towers are, actually. All the other towers on the map are gone, so might as well ward around them, since that's where Liquid's going to pressure. They want to have as much Roche advantage as possible. That's a good way to open it up, is to kill towers.
Roche's almost maximum possible respawn, sitting about 10:45 it looks like, which is about a minute and a half from now.
And a Shadow Blade on Doom as well. What patch are we in? This is a pub game?
You gotta look for those key heroes though. He wants to be able to Doom the Naga and you have to buy the illusions. I actually think Shadow Blade is underutilized on heroes that need to set up.
Okay.
The only issue is if he walks into the Sentry Ward perimeter.
What
This has been up a while for Wings.
I mean, he just bought the Shadow, right? They were just checking for wards.
Yeah.
They just set up for wards.
He's going to have some advantage for a bit with this, but eventually it's going to be a bit problematic.
Well, they're gonna have a big issue if they pull the Naga Siren a gem.
Yeah, that's really true. They'll see him coming.
Yeah.
He gets spotted, and now they'll definitely see the Shadow Blade. So
Yeah. I mean, he already has enough issue like right now. I don't know if it's gonna pay off for Kuro. I like it a lot more on the Wind Ranger.
So DD on the Wind Ranger as well. So right now they're defending their towers with mind control because he can go anywhere else. It gives them the most opportunity to start team fights or gank anywhere else.
Dude, they are so quick. Like Wings have just been responding so quickly to Liquid's ganks. They immediately see the Shadow Blade and he already has a gem on him. It's been like less than a minute since Scout did that picked them out.
And did he buy that as well?
No, the Ench bought it.
Innocence.
Okay.
What did you think too
That's
about
crazy
Innocence?
fast.
Like, to not go something like a Dragonlance, not to go an Agony. They should get a Force stuff to kite the Ursa harder.
No, they need the Force for whoever gets doomed, basically. Because if they can just force them back, Liquid's disables are pretty limited to what? Sprout, Viper slows, and Lion. If they can just force that person back and keep them alive, it'll change the whole fight. Because they can always do Naga Sleeps, they can do Chronospheres. If they could use a Force Staff instead of one of those big team fight ultimates, they could use it for after Doom ends. And I think it would allow Viper.
It also counters Lion Hex. It counters, as you mentioned, it counters Ursa with a Bash or Abyssal later. I think it's much better than Dragonlance because they don't actually need her for damage because Ranger's been doing the majority of the damage in these team fights.
I mean, if she would have died some more early, then I would agree that maybe she needs Dragonlance. But like we pointed out in the draft stage, she's really hard to kill with the heroes that Liquid have. It isn't until MKBs that she gets in a bad place, and she's already set for
These
now.
wards are already being taken down too by Wings. I think they actually have the upper hand.
And the Obs are really left. Like, they got another one up on the top lane.
But they're scrambling for kills. Like Kuro is like desperately trying to maybe get some kills and set up with Nature's Prophet, but they're actually being huddled behind their T1s this early versus Naga with a pre-creep spawn Roche. This is not a good position for them at all.
Well, at least Mind Control is doing pretty well. He's going to constantly be able to push out lanes. The Blink gives them some survivability. Will he sense danger?
He still has to worry about this, you know, this win.
There's the Shackle. Perfectly. Onto the melee creep, Mind Control, that Focus Fire, and then the follow-up Fate Bolt. There's still the Wind Ranger who gets the kill.
So,
Like, what a time to get a kill. Like, you know Roshan is up, you know Team Liquid want to go for it, and you don't have Nature's Prophet now.
I think the Wings just have the tools to deal with everything that Liquid has. They have the Shadow Blade.
Kuro, there's your Doom. And now we see just how tanky this Faceless Void can be, and the answer is not enough.
Yeah, if he had a Vanguard,
Dire's
maybe.
middle tower is under attack.
I'll get like 2 Vanguards and a Keela on my mid hero, just for you to tank.
The Purge build.
That's not... Give credit where it's credit's due, guys. I'm not going to name names, but you know what I'm talking about. So for now, Liquid, despite wanting to set up like a lot of kills, they're kind of just stagnating. Like they did get that kill there, but that's the first one. It's 25 minutes. Like he's been able to roam and rotate on that stuff a lot, but he hasn't found the kills quite as much. Just Wings is moving very well. Plus now they know Liquid's fairly spread out. They're playing kind of safe by only showing Mind Control, but they are still getting those kills occasionally, and that makes the Liquid less efficient, I think.
It's still crazy to think, like, this game, like, we've only had ourselves 17 kills in 26 minutes. But it's the fact that Liquid still actually have a golden experience advantage.
They've been farming, basically. Plus Midas, I guess.
You'd be surprised if they didn't. the few Roaches that they had.
Yeah,
I think you
Oh,
forgot
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
a
you
good
forgot
point.
that there was a level
Yeah.
1 Roach, guys.
With 2 Roches, yeah, they may want to have the advantage. Towers are not that offset though, and with the Radiance, obviously, that's the easiest split push ever. So
But is this something that Liquid can really deal with, or are they now on a clock?
They're not necessarily on a clock. They just don't have the heroes that are like well equipped to deal with it. They can push, they can team fight well, but like pretty much Lion's actually their best hero at dealing with a Naga split
Oh,
push.
Koro caught out. Say goodbye to Doombring, 50 seconds on the sideline. And instantly they attack
Did they
into the
stomp
tier
for
2
that?
tower.
did they?
No,
Oh,
they
sorry, no.
they smoked up past the board and they were just
Okay.
patiently waiting because Shadow had already dewarded everything on the
Matumba?
top lane.
He's having
This is
some.
very difficult when Enchantress basically has her army
Merge.
just annoying the crap out of the Ursa.
It took off the overpower too. That slows him down a lot.
Yeah.
He has to wait for his double cooldown. They're already heading over there.
They're coming for a fight. They manage to find the Faceless Void a little bit too far up, so they find that kill. So they're still without a Doom. Their top lane still being pressured.
Oh, they want to fight. Fought is pretty fast, but
Also, the fresh time you get Nagget himself to over Wind Ranger. They think it's only 2. And, well, Ice, he may be the sacrifice right now. Inside the trees, waiting for death. Waiting, still waiting, now granted.
They're still stalling the Ursa though. Well, Naga's strong enough at this point where she can contest Roche almost by herself, and the threat of the sleep into, like, let's say a Chronosphere. I don't know if Faceless Void is going to be up in time though. And
She's going to be outscout a lot more too with that. Then she's got the money for the Manta.
yeah, they're actually giving up the Roche. It looks like no illusions, no summons being sent that way at all.
I mean, there's no point. Lion could deal with him very easily anyways. He's got max out mana drain, I think, so.
This is the 3rd Roshan though, so should it be really that, like, you being that willing to give it up?
It's not about being willing, it's that they can't do it. The Void died, and Rubik also... Oh yeah,
here we go.
Rubik died afterwards.
Mind control.
Oh,
That was the
big.
Manta style. Does he lose his life for it? Even if he does, though, it's probably going to still be worth it. He attempts to TP out the Forcer, cuts the tree line, Shackles will be there, so Mind Control will die for this. But you now buy yourself a 3-minute window where there is no Manta style over on that Naga Siren.
At the same time though, you cut down the time that you can actually do something with the Aegis, right? That limits
Yeah.
their time to maybe 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, I don't think that would... Well, it's kind of okay. The only thing that's good about it, in my opinion, is that Manta with Radiance is obviously amazing for farming. So if that's the only good part, otherwise I wouldn't say that's worth it.
Maybe you can still find, like, solo pickoffs. Matobuma's got enough money, you can buy the full Abyssal Blade.
Solo Chrono on Kuro in the mid lane.
Say goodbye to your Doombringer again. That's not what, the 3rd time we've seen Kuro being picked off in the last 10, 15 minutes?
He's still farming pretty good considering. I mean, he's above Void and Rubik and Enchant. It's not bad. And he's going to go probably Shiva's Guard most likely. That's great item against Wings. The only person that's not good against is Wind Ranger. But
How do they deal with Naga Siren? That is the big issue.
mana drain, refresher. That's the goal. I mean, Viper is going to transition. He's close to AC. I think he's got a plate mail. After that, maybe you get your MK finally, and then he's going to be sort of okay against illusions.
But then he'll just get crushed by Wind Ranger if he commits to too many
Yeah.
apps to deal with the Naga.
You're definitely right about that. Well, I mean, either way, he needs MKB. It's
Yeah,
going
he
to be
needs
good against
MKB at some
Radiance.
point.
It's going to be good against Wind Ranger.
But doesn't he need like a BKB at some point so he doesn't get shackled and die? But if he gets BKB, he'll get slept and focused down.
and it,
What to do?
go in the same time as your team. That way, you're not the only person. Because if he's being focused, that's totally worth it. Because then Ursa's hopefully blowing people up. They don't
But-
have that many disables.
How do they split push
Just
out the lanes though?
for Prophet ulti plus Prophet freeze plus Prophet blink.
Prophet has to worry about the Faceless Void though, as well as the Wind Ranger. Like both of these heroes are extremely good at killing the Nation Prophet.
All right, they give up then. You got me.
No, I'm just saying, like, what if you're in their position, like, how do you
These
approach
odds-
this?
Ice are being initiated on, they got a little bit of help, so they know Matumba and the Jirax are moving over, so you can say goodbye to your first one, but the Shackle Shot is over on the Lion. They've also got a ward to D-Ward, but they don't worry about this right now. It's just get the hell out of the fight, let the Naga Illusions take care of the obs.
Poor observers. So yeah, getting kills is one really good way. So it all comes down to wards, but all of their wards are dead constantly due to them having a gem advantage and it being on like the best dewarder in the game, which is spawning illusions, aka 4 free gems.
Yeah, and
So-
they can't push too. Like if they're mid, they just got a kill, and their mid is pushed in all the way to their tier 2, so they can't even
Yeah.
capitalize on
Is
this.
Matumba gonna go for more? Like, they have to understand they're being watched so heavily around that top, and now with the observer...
They're probably like, what is Matama doing?
He doesn't know there's orbs there. Like, there's a perfect perimeter, and now Spade jumps up, starts the time dilation. He may have actually used the chrono, but he's trying to hold off on it. So Matamaman, the enrage will wear off with the damage. They burn through the Aegis Immortal. You got now Mind Control arriving behind, but Jirak instantly caught out by the Chronosphere. They want Matamaman again, and they're gonna get him. Down goes the Ursa. No buyback available. Kuro also does not have Doom. He starts walking up the hillside. They forced off the wrong direction with the Wind Ranger, but the Song of the Siren will lock him the Doombringer, and now they can just pump out the last portion of damage. 2 heroes lost for Team Liquid. You can say goodbye to any advantage they had from that Roshan as well.
That was such a sick chrono.
It was really good, but Matoma-man probably shouldn't be playing that hard on that side of the map. I mean, he may not necessarily know where their wards are going to be. Maybe he's expecting them to be deeper since the lanes are now being pushed out. But this whole game, Wings has put all of their wards on their side of the map consistently because they know Liquid is going to be looking for pickoffs with
bottom lane,
with Ursa.
Yeah, Wind Range is pretty low. She's still got Shadow Blade, but the sentry's down. Jirax instantly regrets, and you just lost the top lane.
That was really unfortunate there for Jirax, basically, that at the same time he got initiated on top, so he couldn't show up for that fight. Otherwise, they would have killed her, most likely. He didn't get to ulti, he didn't do anything. Just died also.
And now you lose towers.
Yeah.
I think if Matama-man wants to make those sort of maneuvers, the supports have to be able to keep a gem alive.
He pings to try and find this kill, but he's got no reveal apart from that sentry, which is still sitting down in the lane.
Yeah, they're having massive vision issues now. They have to have observer wards like only on cliffs, meaning they can't really have any lane wards at this point, and Wings simply have the vision advantage right now.
No, they'll be fine when Naga gets too many items and can't hold the gem anymore. That's the solution. But the vision is a really big deal. It comes down to them finding kills. It comes down to them farming safely, initiating fights correctly. The game is very tough because of this gem purchase. It completely changed the whole scope of the game. Despite them having tower and Roche advantage and all that good stuff, it's different. On the bright side, they're looking at potentially only a 2-core lineup that they're playing against. The Void's farm is far enough behind, as is the Enchant, even though those heroes transition pretty well, and he is going damage items. At the moment, at least according to net worth, it's looking like they only have to deal with 2 heroes.
I actually think the Diffusal might be a little bit more defensive, too, because of the Hex from Lion.
Oh, that's the purpose, I suppose. It's good against Ursa as well. You can permanently kite him, basically, just based on charges.
I think it's more utility than damage, though.
Mind Control?
The one
is he actually going to break the smoke? No, he blinks himself down, that's his TP, and now it's Matoma who actually gets caught out. Kuro locked inside the instant, gets a double chrono, and that's also Matoma's 10-second BKB. Kuro's already down, Matoma's going to follow straight away! Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
BKB just seems like the most useless item for Liquid, unfortunately. But then you can just get owned by Shackle. What do they do? Got destroyed by Chronosphere right there.
Is this a Linken's game? Maybe?
Linken's and BKB maybe?
Then you're just getting to a point where Ursa isn't even doing amazing damage anymore.
Is he doing damage now?
No, he's not. Level 3 enrage stolen by Rubik. Good defense. It's kind of like a 5-second, oh, it's only 2 seconds, 2-second BK, or physical immunity, more or less. Everything immunity. It's pretty strong. Tier 2 tower, now they're losing pretty much all of their tower advantage, which means that pretty soon here Roches are even going to be even.
Ooh, my control's already used the blink. Wind Range is not following.
It's a really tough game now for Liquid. Just because of the fact that Wings didn't get ganked that much in the early mid game, meant that Liquid didn't get enough advantage to turn this into high ground.
I think the biggest one was the Viper kill, because Viper was like hugely over leveled.
Which the 2 times, the laning one or the jungle?
The laning one, the one where he had the Aegis.
Okay.
I think that like offset the majority of the Roche. Just off that one.
Because that was before he had mech, right?
Yeah, that was before he had, that was 4 minutes.
If he had mech, there's no way he dies there. And they could maybe turn it into like a tier 1 push somewhere.
At that point, all he had was the headdress.
Speaking of MKBs, Wind Ranger manages to pick hers before anyone else in this game. That's not a good sign for Liquid.
Pick up or what?
MKB. And Liquids are the ones that desperately need it.
Kind of interesting. Very magic damage heavy from Wind Ranger this game. MKB is quite good right now on Wind Ranger though, because the proc is the same, but it does way more damage, I believe. So it's almost all magic damage between MKB and Maelstrom. Not amazing versus Viper, I guess, but should be fine versus everybody else. I guess it's kind of good against him if he has an AC though. That's the idea.
It's a good mix of damage. Also, it kind of helps kite the Ursa a little bit more if he's constantly getting bashed too.
That's true. It definitely forces mechanical errors out of players when you don't expect to have your entire whatever key you press be interrupted. It definitely messes things up.
We're starting to get near that 6-slotted Naga. She's going to go Diffusal Blade as her item. Finally, Kuro can also finish up that Shiva's guard.
Now the Hex is like not very useful in team fights because now they have 2 defusals. Anyone gets Hex, you just defuse the other and then pop your defensive cooldown, Chrono, or Sleep, and then just turn around the fight. Like they are shoring up all their defenses.
There's smoke moving over. Faceless Void jumps up, looking for the Chrono. Almost caught out 2. In fact, he will do so. Barter being caught in the front lines. The Shackle keeps Durax out of the fight. Barter's still got a lot of life. The Mech Charge being triggered. He's got Cheese available as well. So we're able to survive through this. As Mateleman, he can't get through mind control. Sprout, now the trees are down, but the Song of the Siren, it'll actually help isolate. Well, actually, no one. Mateleman's BKB, it wears off for now. Mind control. A lot of physical damage looking at that Wind Ranger. But they're going to find the Naga Siren. Finally, maybe Team Liquid can find themselves some good kills. They get one. The double shot from Durax, catching up both Innocence as well as the Wind Ranger. The Hex and the Doom is already down. This Wind Ranger barely surviving. Can Faith even help him out right now? The Diffusal players kept helping him away. She's so low. The Blink Board from Durax helps secure the kill. Taking 771 gold just from that one test.
Oh man, that was such an insane fight. It was actually not the best place for them to fight because Liquid moved left of where the ramp was. So for Wings to approach that, they would have had to run to the right up the ramp and then cut left. So during the Chronosphere, they just didn't do enough damage. Liquid was able to survive, and the Cheese as well. That was the person that mostly got focused. Keeps them 100% full.
Yeah, they really needed the Chronosphere to kite the BKB back.
Kuro, Ice dead almost instantly. They still have a Song of the Siren, so they can delay this fight up a little bit longer. As Kuro dropping down very low with all the illusions, they're going to riptide him down underneath the tower. You bring in help, but Mateleman has no mana left anymore.
That was a buyback on Naga Siren, but that actually doesn't matter that much over the course of the game. She's one of the fastest heroes to get 6-slotted, so throwing out a buyback at this stage when she's already ahead of her opponents, not a huge deal. Either way, great team fight for Liquid. It costs them a buyback, and they could potentially kill Naga Siren in the next 6 minutes and force a Rax afterwards.
Yeah, that was just great positioning by them too. Like they weren't clumped out to get Chronosphered, and even the Sleep was like only catching 2 at the start, and then it caught a BK beat hero. Yeah. Like their ultimate and spell usage at the fight was just not ideal, and no one could really do damage too. Like the Chronosphere was uphill too. You have all these range heroes downhill. You have to deal with that mischance, and no one died. No one was even close to dying during that Chronosphere.
And I'm sure the hesitation messed up Wings a lot as well. They were like, do we go in? Do we not go in? And then because of that, they're maybe not running up the hill like they could have, should have. Made it a lot harder.
There's mind control. That Observer Ward scattered out the movement. He just sends a tree in instead.
Let's give it a little slap.
Yeah.
I think he learned his lesson from the last time, perhaps.
Well, they smoke might have been close to being scouted out with the Observer Ward in base, but looks like they're going to be very slow to the punch because he has to stop by the base to pick up the gem.
They're already too late. Roche is down. Durax first one to the front line. Got the Observer Ward down. And Durax, well, he gets himself away. Mateleman into the BKB form. But do they find themselves an opening farther as well? Ice is just delaying them out by this Ghost for an 4-star out, and now they Chrono over onto the BKBs are down. Shadow's on his way in, but Durax Hex, there's no Song of the Sun, no extra control just yet. So give it a moment. But that moment means Rubik is dead. Mateleman, he's so low. The Song of the Siren's gonna go. He's just making sure Liquid stays exactly where they are as they retreat.
That was pretty good. They're spending a lot to try to kill their Rubik, but that time they were very coordinated. They came from different angles as well. And once the Chronosphere is kind of wasted like that, they need to be doing DPS instantly. Like how Wings has to do it, they have to Chrono, either Focus Fire going off or Enchantress slinging Impetus Shot. That's the only way that they kill people with Chrono. And it doesn't synergize that amazing with Naga Siren unless you're just catching half the other team.
New opening. Say goodbye to your Enchantress. This is Void. You got a Chronosphere. But they will still try and go for this. Shackle's back off cooldown. Kuro and Mind Control are pretty nicely lined up for that until now. They go for another Diffusal Blade shot, but Mind Control not actually being attacked. So he's allowed to pick himself away to safety. The Wind Range is not giving up on this.
I think she should. I don't think the Shadow Blade's working anymore. She needs an instant way to catch people. And at this late in the game, when your opponents also have Blink Daggers and you don't, then finding that Shackle initiation is so much harder. It was good for the early mid-game, but now I think it's a weak choice.
I think it's actually more so the Void needs a Scepter to use his Chronosphere more often. Like, Chronosphere is too big of a cooldown for them. Like, if they blow it in an inappropriate manner, then they just like lose the fight, and everyone has forced a turn tail to run, and then Liquid has a very large window that they can move in. But with like 45-second cooldown sleep and a 60-second chrono, the windows that Liquid can find are, I think, just very, very slim, and they have to be very careful about how they proceed. But now it's just like they just played around chrono way too easily.
Well, losing that one fight really messed them up then, because it killed their advantage, their snowball, because now the Void bought the Fusel Blade. He's gone through like 13 charges or something like that, or 11 charges. He's gone through a lot of charges already just to help them win team fights. Those team fights didn't transition into gold, so now him buying Axe is super delayed, so now their team fights going into the late game are tough. So it's kind of really hurt them. That one fight was, they were kind of all in with those Diffusal Blades in some ways. At least on Faceless Void they were. It really limited his overall team fight ability.
The Naga Fusel seems to still be doing a lot of work. Like you're looking at, like Lion, the mana pool required to actually let off one Finger of Death. I don't remember the last time I saw Jirax actually use a Finger of Death.
It's got Arcanes at least, but
yeah.
But yeah, the Diffusal is a huge problem for a lot of supports in the late game.
And not just that too, like Viper mana pool isn't that terrific, and you see Tubman having no mana as well in multiple fights.
Yeah, he's probably the best example. Ursa almost always has mana problems in every game, regardless of mana drain. So maybe not so much late game as he grabs potentially a stat item or something, but yeah, he's gonna have some issues.
Does he still go for the stat item? You guys were like,
yeah. What do you think, Ben? I was thinking maybe Abyssal on Ursa at this stage. Does he maybe MKB once his Aegis dies? It's hard. It's a hard question. I think he has to go MKB kind of. Like, because if he doesn't, then he's still super limited on Wind Ranger, and the Radiance could definitely make or break a team fight.
I think he needs probably a Lotus on him to try and deal with the net and the shackle, as well as lift and enchant. From
well, you can't remove the net. I'm guessing. You can just
I think you just precast it on him, and then he can cycle through his cooldowns. You have Enrage, you have BKB, you generally have Aegis too when he fights, and you just cycle through all those cooldowns.
Do you remove time dilation with it?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, there's the jump. Nice as we go down. That was a smoke mover from Liquid. They're farming up the Radiant Ancients and then just move themselves further north, but Innocence as well as Faith have just gone bush right now.
Guess they're just looking for easy pickoffs.
They're looking for a Naga pickoff, but she's been playing pretty safe, and 1 minute left on her cooldown. So
and the two Wings heroes.
Oh, Wings.
The Faith and Innocence.
Enchantress going Halberd, I guess. She's got a Sanj. Hopefully not an SNY.
They're doing a pretty good job of sacrificing the Rubik and the Enchant a lot in these ganks, though.
Yeah,
Wind Rangers died once, so was the Naga Siren.
Yeah, it's always Rubik dying, and he's the lowest net worth by far, so it's giving you very little.
Faith. They don't know, and they just use the Blink Dagger. But this is the gank they were hoping for.
Kill him pretty easy. They just have to get the Force Staff off and the Enchantress right.
Well, there's your Chronosphere.
Okay,
he's not close enough. Enchantress can't do any damage here. So Mind Control comes out of BKB, but Shadow, he beats himself into this. So Mind Control, he'll die inside of his own Sprout, burns a BKB charge as well. And now they're just going to Song Hover TP out of here. Except Shadow can't do it yet. He's got 16 seconds left.
Sloppy, but they got it. They should have Force Staffed as they jumped into Chrono.
Look at his money too. He's got 7.7k gold over on this Naga. Like, we have to be looking at something to be purchased, and it looks like Innocence will be picking up a that's his halberd.
I don't. Is it? Or is
that's Innocence.
Okay,
one.
I was
so
gonna say
it's a heart for the Naga.
I would have completely disagreed with a Butterfly and Naga when you have a Wind Ranger. They're clearly gonna buy MKBs, and in fact, Vipe does have his. So,
no. Shadow just wanted the heart. But does this mean now he gives up the gem or gives up the Diffusal Blade to pick up the heart?
I think gem.
He could just pick up occasionally.
Yeah,
grab
you
the
can
gem,
pick it up on
spawn. You could TP somewhere, for example, with BOTs. Spawn your illusions, go look for wards, walk back home while farming. Grab your diffusal. It's pretty straightforward. The Heart's the best solution against people that can clear the illusions. Not amazing against Lion, obviously, but against like Viper or Ursa, it's gonna make it a pain in the butt to kill those illusions. But I think the Heart's worth it. Honestly, he's gonna get more than 6 items this game. So even talking about his item decisions is still limited.
Well, we get the answer from a Tumbleman. It's not Abyssal Blade.
Okay.
And it's not a stat. Well, it's sort of. It's a Diffusal Blade.
So good for Scepter. I only see 1 up on Wings right now. It's still.
Shivers, they found the Wind Ranger just sitting in the trees with the Doom. There is no way to escape here.
That bastard stole the kill with his belt. I guarantee they're flaming him right now. That was such a big kill.
It's all planned, man. He needed the Scythe of Ice money.
How much money did you get from that kill there?
453.
Yeah, he didn't deserve that.
If we believe that.
Oh, Kuro deserved that. Come on, he got 180 gold out of that. He's just like, yeah, I'm gonna predict this Wind Ranger being split pushing by the tier 2 tower.
That's all
looking
for the
an
side,
easy
man. And now he's gonna go for another kill. Up onto the hill, watching a double
He doesn't
damage.
know. He
Rubik.
doesn't know he's there. In fact, if anything, the Radiant almost saw him. If he just stepped a little bit more out in the secret shop, they would have seen him there. Oh, he's gained lifesteal. Does he know? Okay, he could have figured out that he was lifestealing based on Radiance there, but that's you don't notice that stuff usually.
Oh, Kuro now gonna have a crack at Innocence. He instantly pops off the sprites. Supports the neighborhood from my side, but the question is, does he get involved? The 1 4-star already been used. Innocence still has his one, and Eyesight starts his TP out. So Innocence already used the 4-star now. Song of the Siren to be triggered. They got 3 heroes grouped up, but Innocence, he's still so low, but he'll survive. The TP's out at the perfect time.
Why did the game change so much? It feels just like Liquid rolling over Wings. They're just getting picks here and there. And maybe Wings just doesn't feel as comfortable fighting anymore. I mean, they definitely are out farm. Liquid says we're aiming for late game. We're gonna out farm with.
I think
4 heroes at farm.
Most of it was because they lost a gem on the Naga Siren, so now the Doom's able to run around and do whatever he wants.
You're saying like they lost it with Vision Battle? Hello, Kuro. Obviously there was a new gem that was purchased, and now Kuro will die. This was more of like what was happening when Wings had their advantage, and they're looking to go for Fada, the Chronosphere, catching him out. Leads to be 2 very big kills. Durex to the sun, looking phase out, but then a Shackle is perfectly on top of Fada. Mind Control comes in for a little extra help. Fada, does he survive with the supplement? Very Henry Ursa looking for an opening, but the damage still from the Wind Ranger is not enough to kill the Fighter, and the Song of the Sun doesn't control him either, but you still got the Impetus damage flying out. Wind Ranger, she'll win run it off out of here. But Jirax, okay, Innocence is just too damn strong. How much damage are you doing during this fight? Matomaman as well! Shackled up! They've lost 4 heroes! The buyback came out from the Naga Siren. But with so many heroes still now left alive for Wings, they can just look to go straight down mid.
I really didn't like their decision to reinitiate there, especially the way Jax did it. Like, he jumped in, but he blinked somebody else. Maybe he thought he had
Weren't they
Earth
forced
Spike,
to?
But
I think they were forced to, because Fada was caught out. He was shackled. He was
already dead though, wasn't he? And then they chased back in. Like, the Naga Siren was dead, so she couldn't song because she had already songed. I feel like they could have just walked away, maybe kept more alive. Who knows? But once they get past the creep wave, then shackles are better and all that stuff. I don't know. It seemed a bit of a weird choice.
I think it was really hard for them to just like sacrifice Fada, and then they would have to blow her buyback.
They're gonna try and find this one, but Song of the Siren, you have to PKB to get into this fight. But Naga, perfectly positioned. Liquid cannot even chase to find any kind of extra kills. So they lose their mid immediately. They buy back on both the Viper as well as the Ursa.
I think going back to the last fight, it was because like Fada was on the far end of the Chrono, so it was like really difficult for the range heroes to like actually kill the Viper, and then because of that, like Liquid and like Matuma was on the back lane with BKB just wrecking heroes. So I think they thought that they had the upper hand. Fada actually survived until like almost the very end of the fight. So I think they just didn't want to like lose Viper for nothing though. They would have just waited for the cooldown to reset and force his buyback.
Well, they had to buy back a lot of heroes. They did lose their melee barracks. Range is up. This game's still semi-even, but the Naga illusions will remain annoying.
They need. I definitely think they need like more forces Lotuses for the Naga Siren though, because she's already slot limited. So then now they have to rely on the supports. But as you mentioned earlier, the Rubik's been dying a lot, and he was the lowest net worth in the game. And Enchantress does have that handy force staff though.
It's going to be hard to transition at this point. There's a Silver Edge on Wind Ranger though. Useful against Viper. Since she does a lot of magic damage, it's actually really good against Viper. You can probably temporarily disable Ursa Fury Swipes as well. Not to mention limit his damage output.
Yeah, he doesn't have MKB, and I don't know if he's going to be able to build one.
Oh, and you probably get main procs too, I suppose. Really high chance of a main proc with Focus Fire.
Sick.
No, that's actually...
I know.
I guess Ursa, like...
It's just like of all the things that are toolkit, it's like
I mean, how often do you get to talk about a Silver Edge on Wind Ranger in like anywhere of a real game? It's actually, it's really
funny.
good. It's good against Doom, it's good against Ursa, it's good against Viper. Just keep them locked in place.
Yeah. I think the
Mini
most are
bashes.
just like dead.
Fried chicken or what? No, Ken, I'm good. Thank you. Thank you.
Kuro, real trouble. There goes your Chronosphere as, well, needs to be picked up, and now, well, where's your follow-up? Here it is, but Tubberman chasing up after Innocence, and Mind Control as well. He's trying to go for Shadow, but they're going for multiple targets. Now the Enchantress will have to be doomed up to kill her. The sprites make that very difficult, and now Shadow, he'll made a silent, will he get out?
Bash, are you kidding me?
It doesn't exist!
4 hits!
They're out!
He hit 4 times and he didn't mini bash.
They get Roshan though. That's the
That's so
upside.
unlucky.
Because the Enchantress goes down now, they get Roshan.
Oh my
That
god.
is really unlucky.
Ken was trying to show us a bottle of water, aka liquid, and a plate of wings, aka Team Wings. So just clarifying that once you guys all can appreciate how smart he is. I'm just gonna do some math quick. 1
You might be
second.
giving him too much credit. I don't know if he thought that one through.
Like he did. Come on, don't worry. Don't worry. You think he's like, oh, wings, plate of wings and water. Totally normal. I'm just interrupt this cast to show this to everybody. I'm doing my math wrong. 1 second. 0.65.
What math are you trying to do?
What the chances of that happening are? It's so low.
Oh, the bash misses.
17% chance. Pretty low.
Sure, really?
I
17 is what you get? You get 17?
17.8, yeah. Yeah, it's 0.65 to the 4th. Pretty low chances.
That number will haunt every Dota player forever.
Did one get stopped by the mirror image or no?
Oh yeah, there may have been a miss in there, so that's entirely possible. But that's a lower chance.
So
That's
not quite 17,
again,
but close to
17%. 17% miss from Radiance or whatever. So.
Well, he can't miss.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. So I guess he couldn't have missed.
No, he could have missed because of the Manta. Or he mirror imaged right before he TP'd.
Yeah, that's possible. I thought I saw 4 hits there.
Okay, I think we're hurting the brains of every single person that's watching this cast right now.
Toby, that was the simplest.
It's
math.
0.65 to the 3rd or to the 4th.
Hey,
Not that hard,
I'm
Toby.
here to represent the common bro.
Okay, Toby.
I jump in, there's the Chronosphere over at my control, G-Rex trying to help him out, Face, send into a fish, pulled away, and maybe they have enough damage. There's your finger death, but Ice doesn't even care about it. He took almost no damage if they do stop the TP out, so Face's Void will die. Ice is still trying to play it around the tree line, Prophet sprouting over, G-Rex gets his stun. And this time, the gank from Wings will not work, but it's a different combination. It was the Rubik and the Void trying to TP up together as opposed to the Enchantress Void.
Oh, this Naga is not taking any chances. You guys are fighting. I don't have my buyback on cooldown. I am not coming with you. Zero chance.
They just wanted a really quick pick off
Got more
there.
farm
But...
to get, man. She's got a 2nd level diffuser. Wait, what the hell is she buy now?
She's
completing. It's gonna be like what, refresher?
Moonshard, Dagon 5.
Moonshard bots 2 is already 6,000 gold, and then barely enough for buyback. So she's not actually as rich as it seems.
But that play was entirely because Jack's set up by the split pushers. They know that they're going for kills on mind control. He sets up and he keeps them alive long enough to pop BKB and get back up. So that was a huge play by Jax there.
So let's see. He still has the Mask of Madness on Chicken on Matumba Man, replacing it with the cheese for the time being.
Where's this Courier Snipe? That tree and scattered it. That's a Moonshard plus an Ultimate Orb. Almost worth a TP from mind control, but they're too late.
Yeah.
It's not worth his life.
Lives are way more important than sniping items at this point.
Moonshard is not that great on the Naga's that are in.
Yeah, it does almost nothing. Oh, they might see an Ursa kill bottom.
Well,
You had your eyes there, Toby.
I really did.
Your
I
eyes-
took my eyes away from it. But at least you might see a Wind Ranger kill on bottom lane. Just had it played up in 8 seconds time, but that's 8 seconds way too long.
Viper hitting really hard now. That's pretty incredible. I guess nothing new. Just BOTs. It's actually worse than it was before. Next item for him, maybe, who knows?
Just that
Daedalus.
one beautiful time to catch a Wind Ranger when she can't go invis on him.
Well, that's because she initiated Toby.
That is why.
Okay.
Cause and effect.
Yep. Thank you, Toby.
Jarak trying to be sneaky and dropping his everyone ward in base. Who's the
And now he's gonna walk by the creeps.
I don't think they saw it though. We saw it, but that's because we were looking for it.
Void should probably catch it though on this.
Where did Ursa die? I didn't notice because
He died like where the
He
T1 on
died
bottom
right here.
used to be.
Oh, okay.
If we
Oh,
want,
he died during the Wind Ranger? Oh, okay.
Yes.
My bad. Alright, that's just me being dumb then.
Oh, Innocence and mind control duking it out. BOTs surely to fly
get rid
in.
of the creep.
Oh
You
yeah.
could actually complete the BTs. Now the Hex and Innocence. But Innocence, like, okay, it's still gonna take a while to kill him. Mind control into the trees. Do you just go for a blind chrono? With an Agonist, maybe you would. Instead, he finds Sparta and actually catches Durex in the edge of it. He'll run down and then realize that both of these ideas are really, really bad. Let Innocence get the kill and barely survives with the finger of death. And say hello to a new gem. They've already got one.
So many sick plays from Wings this game though that Enchant to stop the Viper BOT in just gave them a gem.
Oh, that's what he did?
Yeah.
Oh,
He,
wow.
he tried to BOT in with a Viper and then he enchanted it and stopped the TP and then he was on his own.
That's pretty cool.
That is very cool.
Say hello to your Lincoln Sphere. Windrange is going to be picking one of these things up.
Yeah, I feel like Wings have enough damage items at this point. They just need to be able to survive, and it looks like she's not interested in getting BKB. Pretty useless for a lot of their heroes.
New gem picked up though.
Yeah, there's a lot of gems in this game.
Someday
Hey,
Wings might get a Roche.
This is one we're going to bring up. I can't remember. I think it was Wager I had the idea with. We actually make something called a super gem. You combine 3 gems into one, and it won't drop.
What if you could just consume it like Moonshard? That would be sick.
Ooh,
God, that would,
I like that
that
one.
would break so many heroes, guys. Like,
The Nagasara permanent vision.
Oh, I only got
Would it
that.
work on illusions? Would it pass over to illusions?
you'd pick like you pick a carry hero, and then you just rush triple gem against techies and give it to a ranged hero.
Yeah, but when are we ever going to play against techies?
He'll get buffed.
Is that really worth?
He's never going to get
47
buffed.
gold?
I just fucking
I'm
hate
not saying
him.
it's gonna be good. I'm just saying.
hates him.
I'm just
He's
saying a
never
lot of
gonna
pubs.
get
are
I mean,
gonna
by
do it.
rush it, you mean you have to wait 30 minutes. You can't just buy gems whenever you
point.
want.
Good point.
Details.
What if you like first 200 gold you buy at start after your
You still have to wait 20 minutes
Well,
or wait for
you
them to
wait
drop
for
a
10 minutes
gem.
because you
You're
can
right.
steal the enemy gem and combine it that way. See? Flash farm.
New way to game ruin. Buy
operation
gem, drop it.
operations shut down techies?
And then what if you drop 3 gems when you die?
Yeah, but I thought we just said the super gem does drop.
Yeah,
No,
so
but
super
what
gem
if you
doesn't drop.
consume it so you don't take an
okay.
inventory slot, but then it drops when you die? And
What's the point? Then?
Yeah,
Why?
yeah,
It's you a slot.
That's not worth 3 gems unless we're talking
think-
ultra late.
I mean,
game.
right now it would be. I think Naga's Siren would gladly spend 2,700 to get a gem
It's
as
the
a
new-
Moonshard.
The new way to grief is while you buy your opponents a gem and drop it for them.
Well, if it still drops, then it's okay.
Beyond trying to do some dewarding duty so they can think about getting this next Roche. I don't know if it's number 5 or 6, but we're around that territory.
I mean, this next Roche is
I
super
remember
important.
2 Jesus.
What?
It's 5th Roche. I
5th row
Fifth
shot.
Roche? Okay.
So yeah,
That's it.
yeah. I was right. 2 cheeses consumed. Oh, they're just waiting. For
I thought you
anything.
were. I thought you were saying he was gonna drop 2 cheeses. That was like. That's like.
What, are we now trying to buff Roshan as well?
Oh, yeah, super cheese. What does super cheese do? AOE heal cheese.
It's not often they
You,
get this
you have
many,
2
though.
different types of cheeses then. Like Wednesday and cheddar. Chronosphere, catching out Durax, the Riptide, as she
another
helps
gem.
out, and nope, another gem onto the deck, but the fight continues for Tummelman. Actually, isolated in the Riverside with almost everyone for a wink, but he's just gonna enrage up, and how much life can he get? And actually, can he kill off Windrage? But no! The Suns were there! He'll actually get killed off. There's no buybacks coming out from Liquid because they just don't have them anymore. Where's the extra damage? Nagasara is just tanking through everything, but finally she will be brought down. A triple kill coming in for Fada at Viper. Finally bringing the deeps, and Faith is caught in the tree lines. He can blink away in 1 second time.
The fight looked really rough for Liquid there with.
Oh, he's going in
Viper
for
on
the
high
TP
ground.
though.
Oh, really? He really wants
can't
the
cast
gem.
any spells yet because freaking time annihilation lasts forever. Alright, now he'll get the sprout in.
Oh, that damage. Shame you can't take the gem with you.
Soon.
Alright, that's
Oh, hang on.
Radiant Courier should go for that.
There is a.
It definitely should. They haven't sent anybody yet.
Oh, there's a chicken heading over there too from Dire. Is Dire's chicken gonna get there before Radiant?
I mean,
Oh, it's bringing in the satanic.
that's 4 dead heroes. Surely somebody should. I like the satanic.
It's
pickup.
coming down. It's actually coming down.
They're fighting for it.
Do they not have a gem on Radiant?
There is no fight.
Oh, they're still on a chicken.
They lost him.
Okay.
Is this now what our 6th gem for the game if they buy a new one?
I've lost count, Toby.
There's nothing in the stashes, which is what's making me like question this.
Careful, don't square those gems. Toby will get confused.
Sons of bitches, all of you. Okay, so
I really like the satanic though. Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's fine.
It's really cool. It helps him beat the Wind Ranger in a 1v1. He's always going to hit her. So now he just has to out DPS her. And he's got Nether Toxin. He's got Poison Attack to slow her attack speed if she doesn't use Team Focus Fire. I think it's a pretty good pickup.
What should she get then?
I guess you can't use Poison Attack with the Satanic. That's the only downside.
We finally get the Aghanim Scepter for the Faceless Void. You guys were asking for this a long time ago, and now it's arrived.
Yeah. At this point, it might be better to come into refresh.
Mind control? Well,
So Ice walks up. He's like, oh, I've never seen those trees before.
Ooh.
Just keeps walking.
the Ghost Scepter. He needs to be here for the tele. He needs to grab Mind Control.
Oh,
Look
he
at his
can get it.
crowd! He gets the BKB off, but Mind Control loses his life for a Rubik. One has buyback, one does not. And now Roshan has respawned. Wait, did we just leave this party?
They could just take this, honestly. I mean, they're both dead, and Liquid's got buyback on mind control. So I think, yeah, you might as well just go, right?
No. Well, Wings is too far away, and you've just used Burn's song. Yep.
Wind Ranger also does not have buyback. She still needs 700 gold. So I'm not sure if she's actually going to be able to farm it before this next large engagement. And either of those two important heroes down could be the game.
And I think as more time goes on, Liquid's gonna win this for sure. Like the Ursa has items, but they're not amazing items yet. He's still got like 2 items to go.
Well, he's just tanking so Viper can do damage, which is it's usually not the way around.
Yeah, but I mean, he still has so much that he can grow in. He can finish the Abyssal, and then he can even potentially sell Fusilade at some point, get like a Daedalus or something. I don't know, maybe not Daedalus, but
Can you still beat the underlying problem of Wings? The fact like their high ground defense is still insanely strong, and their split push is always going to be there.
They've been fighting a lot outside of the base though, so you like if they can actually just kill Naga one more time or kill Wind Ranger one time and then force buybacks and kind of burn them down with all these items they have, the Aegises and cheeses and...
So is the better question then, should Wings be playing more defensive, waiting for Liquid to come to them?
It doesn't seem like they want to because the Naga Siren is already approaching her peak. She has approached her peak. She's 6 slotted with Moonshard and BOT2s and 8,000 gold. So now they feel like at any point in progression, Liquid is going to get stronger while Naga Siren is going to be weaker relative to the heroes that are going to be doing damage to her. So like I think now it's whether a question of Wind Ranger and Faceless Void, can they transition enough? Enchantress, she has her axe, she has her Dragon Lance, so she has kind of gotten over the support horizon and transition into a core, I would say, even more so than the Faceless Void.
It's all the damage you really need to come out. Like even if they do like it, like just the Faceless Void as well as the Enchantress, that's the scariest thing in my mind. Like Liquid come up and they get called out by just a 2-man Chrono would be enough, but where the Enchantress is capable of attacking.
And now they have the refresher on Naga Siren as her 7th item. Maybe start seeing some couriers and...
Ooh, what is this play? Oh, they're setting up for the push bottom. They see him. They've got a ward as well. They know they're there. That TP might show it though.
The 3 BTs.
They see all 4.
Wings is here. ISIS again, gonna beat the bait. He throws down the observe ward, 4 stars down, they get pushed back in, but the Chronosphere catching out too far. Check through a tree line with a focus fire. He may go down, they're trying to bring him down, and they are almost gonna kill him. He's losing. He's still the They're gonna kill him finally, but really at what cost? The Song of the Siren's gone off. Shadow is already trying to deny his own Wind Ranger, and he misses the timing on it. He'll actually die as well. By Control came in looking for the other opening. They're figuring down illusions. That's not the real Shadow. It's gone the other way. It's gone east where the skies are blue. Netasal tries to dodge back out again. Kuro's hot in the tail here. Shadow is still insanely tanky. For Fada, the damage has now arrived. The Fiber Strike and Shadow will be going down. The buyback came out from the Enchantress as well. Meanwhile, back at base, they've lost the range ranks. The tier 4 towers are under attack.
It doesn't matter. They killed Naga Siren. They've got 110 seconds. That Satanic completely changed the game. If he didn't have that Satanic heal go even, Wind Ranger would have been full HP as that fight started, and Liquid might have actually just lost the fight. But it kept him alive just long enough. And everybody else got to cast their spells. And everyone on Wings was focusing on him. He just wouldn't die.
Wind Ranger trying to line up. Rubik's up in 4 seconds, but they still do not have... Actually, you got Chrono as well as Impetus. That may just be enough to make Matoman think twice, but they jump in, and there's your Chronosphere. Who are they really going to kill up? Time dilation with Matoman almost down with help of Fire Slice. They're going to have enough damage. They burn through the Aegis Immortal, and Kuro kept out this fight. But is it enough? Innocent force up the way far enough for Wind Ranger. Be careful! She's down with no buyback available. Faces 4 more.
Oh, they got it!
They call GG! They don't feel like they have enough to repel them anymore. The heroes it's been for too long, and Team Liquid in 65 minutes and 1 second will get game number 1 of this best of 3 between Liquid and Wings.
That Satanic was MVP, but
That was an insane play. I mean, he literally pressed one button and he right-clicked, but I hope he took his hands off the keyboard like, go for it! He beat two. Yeah, you're right, two hotkeys and a right-click, but that was absolutely the play of the game.
Look, Mum, no hands.
Yeah, I mean, Liquid had a lot of floundering from like the 10 to 25 minute mark, but the mid